The madman chosen by fate in an age when crowns were inherited but wisdom was rare. A certain king ruled a prosperous kingdom with a gentle heart and a restless mind. His throne was strong, his army loyal, and his treasury full, yet something essential was missing. Every night, long after the torches of the palace had dimmed, the king lay awake, wondering why his empire felt fragile despite its power. His advisors spoke fluently, argued endlessly, and accepted generous wages. But their words carried no weight, no vision, no fire capable of shaping destiny. The king feared not his enemies, but his ignorance of them. Seeking relief from this unease, he rode into the forest with his courtiers, hoping that silence might offer what counsel could not. Laughter, hunting, and feasting filled the day. Yet as dusk approached, fate revealed itself in an unexpected form. Beneath an ancient tree sat a lone Mandusti, disheveled, speaking to no one, yet arguing as if the universe itself were listening. From a distance, he appeared mad, from closer still, unsettling. When questioned, the stranger did not bow, he did not beg, he smiled. "Madness," he said calmly, "belongs not to the man who speaks to himself, but to those who listen only to lies." The words struck deeper than any blade. The courtiers shifted uneasily, sensing danger where the king felt curiosity. Was this man insane, or dangerously aware? He spoke of kingdoms as if they were toys, of palaces as if they were ruins waiting to happen. He claimed no loyalty, desired no reward, yet carried the confidence of one who feared nothing, not even a king. That day, the king brought the stranger to the palace, unaware that this single decision would save his life, expose traitors, unite warring kingdoms, and turn a so-called madman into the most powerful figure the realm would ever know. Because sometimes destiny does not arrive in royal robes. Sometimes it comes disguised as madness. In an age when kingdoms rose and fell, not merely by the strength of their armies, but by the wisdom of their rulers, there existed a vast and prosperous realm governed by a king of gentle nature and sincere heart. His name was spoken with respect across cities and villages, for he was neither cruel nor unjust. Taxes were fair, punishments measured, and the poor were rarely left unheard. Yet beneath the silk robes and golden crown lived a man troubled by a quiet fear that refused to leave him. The king knew what no court poet would dare to write, and no advisor would ever confess. He was not a man of sharp intellect. He listened carefully, asked questions politely, and weighed opinions with patience, but he lacked the instinct that separates survival from destruction. Where wise rulers sensed danger before it arrived, he often realized threats only after they had already passed. This awareness haunted him more than any enemy army ever could. Every morning his court gathered in splendor. Advisors spoke with polished tongues, offering plans wrapped in eloquence. They argued endlessly over policies, borders, and alliances, yet their counsel felt hollow. Each man seemed more interested in preserving his own chair than strengthening the throne. The king would nod, approve, and dismiss the court, only to feel emptier than before. At night, when silence replaced ceremony, he stared at the carved ceiling of his chamber and wondered whether his kingdom stood on firm ground or fragile illusion. He feared betrayal more than invasion. He feared ignorance more than swords. Above all, he feared that when the moment of true trial came, no one around him would recognize it. Seeking escape from these thoughts, the king announced a hunting journey into the forest. Officially, it was for recreation, but in truth, he hoped that distance from stone walls and false smiles might grant him clarity. He did not know that fate was already waiting among the trees. The forest stretched wide and ancient, its towering trees whispering stories older than the kingdom. The royal hunt was a success. Laughter echoed, fires crackled, and wine flowed freely. But destiny is never distracted by celebration. As shadows lengthened, the king noticed a solitary figure beneath an enormous tree, speaking aloud as if in a heated debate with an unseen guest. The man's clothes were worn, his beard untrimmed, and his eyes burned with an unsettling intensity. The guards gripped their spears, thinking him mad. The king, however, raised his hand, halting the procession. Something about the stranger felt important, like this meeting was no accident. He approached. "Are you mad?" the king asked calmly. The man laughed softly. "Madness," he replied, "belongs to those who live surrounded by truth, yet choose lies. I am merely honest with myself." Gasps rippled through the courtiers. Against all advice, the king brought the man to the palace. Not realizing this dusty stranger would soon hold the kingdom's fate in his hands. The journey back was tense. At one point, the stranger attempted to flee, suddenly turning his horse toward the forest. He was quickly captured and restrained, his struggle only deepening the courtiers' belief that he was dangerous. When the royal party returned to the palace, a crowd awaited them with cheers and tears. Messengers brought astonishing news. Along the original road, an enemy army had lain in ambush. Had the king traveled that path, he would not have returned alive. The king stood silent, slowly turning his gaze toward the man everyone called mad. In that moment, doubt transformed into conviction. Ignoring protests, the king ordered a chair placed beside his own. The stranger was to remain close. That single command shattered the peace of the court. Jealousy took root in every heart. The advisors smiled outwardly, but within them fear burned. If this man gained influence, their comfort would vanish. Thus began the first of many conspiracies. The advisors approached the stranger with false kindness, weaving lies about court traditions and subtle threats of punishment. Confused and fearful, he agreed to follow their instruction. When the court assembled the next morning, the stranger stepped forward and struck the king. The crown flew from the king's head and crashed to the floor. Gasps filled the hall until a deadly scorpion crawled out from beneath the fallen crown. Shock turned to gratitude in an instant. The king embraced the stranger before all. What was meant to destroy him crowned him with honor. The advisors, not giving up, tried a new trick. They convinced the stranger to pull the king's chair while he was sitting. The king almost tumbled over but caught himself just in time. When they looked, they saw one of the chair's legs was already broken. Fate had spoken again. The stranger was promoted to general of the army. Desperate, the advisors hatched their darkest plot. They secretly contacted a rival kingdom, starting a war and promising to betray their own army. Their goal was simple: get the general killed. As armies gathered at the border, the general walked out to face the enemy king alone. But before a single sword was drawn, a lion charged from the woods, attacking the enemy king. The general fought the beast and saved the king's life. The war was called off, the traitors were exposed, and the general became a legend.